Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Inspired Action, where we dive into the most pressing leadership challenges and hope to inspire you to take a more coach-centered and people-focused approach to leadership. I'm your host, Kyle Pertuis, and it's time to get started with our three amazing guests for today. Great. So, guys, let me throw this question out to you, and let's just kind of bounce this one around for a couple of minutes. We have some time. What role does recognition play in celebrating these attempts to innovate, right? Regardless of outcome, right? So when we talk about, we want to celebrate this risk and these attempts, and it's not like we're saying, as leaders, we need to run around and say, Heath, way to go, man, you failed again. Bryan, excellent work. We're over budget and behind, we missed the deadline. That's fantastic. What do we do to learn from this? So help me understand, how does recognition play in celebrating those attempts to innovate? What do you think? So I'm going to start just right away with Bryan Keepers, who is the founder and CEO of Channel Growth Strategies, and he's launched this company recently after a long career in sales. And so, Bryan, thanks for being here.
Well, I think initially, talking about how you need to give your people that encouragement and feel like that it's okay to take risks. So as we look at that piece, if it's a win or a loss, I think the reflection side of it. And as a salesperson, I'm used to rejection. And for teammates, you want to make sure that you're encouraging them. So from that, often I use a joke as, kind of take the tension out of the room a bit. And so I'll use that kind of tenor to kind of take it down a little bit, and then have some reflection on it, and then encouragement to follow it up. So I'd say making sure that they feel like that they're in a position to where they can take risks, and then if it's a failure or a success, celebrating that by talking about it, reflecting on it, and then making adjustments.
Let's jump over to Keith Armstrong down in the Houston, Texas area. He's the CEO of EndZone. They're a seasoned Amazon seller, and he's an e-commerce coach, and just brings some great stuff to the way he leads. So,
It was early in my career in the high voltage electrical industry. One of the things that we always did is we encouraged people to, once you've talked to them and they're actually comfortable with the fact that there was a setback or a failure, if you want to call it that, and that they understand it, and you talk through it with them, and you actually find the learnings that not only the organization can take out of it, but the individual can take out of it. And then you encourage them to go and share that with others. It's a way of recognition that the organization isn't trying to cover this up, or they're not trying to hide something that went on. They're actually sharing the learnings from it, and they're letting that person participate. So they also, once again, challenge that muscle to actually get in front of somebody, do something that they're uncomfortable with, while at the same time realizing it could very much help somebody else not make the same mistake, or to have a different idea that will improve the whole process.
Not least, Justin Owen, President CEO of the Beacon Center of Tennessee. That is Tennessee's oldest and most influential nonpartisan think tank, doing some great work up there in the political world. Justin, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I think that the key is really to just make sure people learn from their mistakes, and don't punish them or berate them for it, and for making a mistake and then dwell on it. One of the things that I really try to do is, well, identify the problem, what went wrong, what are we going to do to correct it? That's a learning opportunity, and move on. You're never going to hear from me again about it. And I think that gives our team comfort and space to make mistakes and not feel like it's like some long-term stigma that's going to haunt them for the rest of their career. And so you've got to move on and lead by example, and let them move on as well, because dwelling on a mistake is the last thing people need to do. And so if you can learn from it and improve from it and apply a better scenario the next time, then you need to reward that behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, obviously we've been talking about how important establishing that type of culture where it's expected and anticipated, so that when those things happen, we can address it early and often. And there's that expectation too, so things don't get pushed under the rug, or, well, let's talk about it next week. And then somebody's on vacation, and then it starts to just kind of fester, right? And then it becomes a bigger deal because people are worried. Oh, Justin never said anything about it, and I wonder what Bryan thinks. And yeah, so I agree with all of that. Awesome. Well, hey, man, I think so much gold right there in what all three of you said, and kind of alluding to things around experimentation, right? You think about the scientific approach of, we don't know exactly what we're creating, but it's okay. And if this doesn't work, we try again. You know, if Edison had stopped, we'd all be sitting in the dark. So I think when you think about things like psychological safety, experimentation, establishing a learning culture where it's open and can flow, and it's okay to challenge things. Somebody was talking about the setbacks, right? We try to teach in team performance. It's about the setback, feedback, comeback loop. And how do we just, expect as humans that's going to happen? I love the mention of celebrating the failure, celebrate the smart risk, analyze what worked, what didn't. And then I think most of you alluded to the fact that leading by example is so important. And I think there is a lot of information that goes out, especially in this digital world and the way we communicate at lightning speed. And there's not a whole lot of confirmation. And that's what people want to see. You can talk to me about culture. You can talk to me about how I can innovate safely without the fear of being reprimanded, but confirm it for me. Show me how that's happening. Show me how that core value is lived. And when I talk to people and I'm new on a team, they can say, oh yeah, dude, we do this all the time. This is expected. So just get used to it.
Well, that's a wrap for another edition of Inspired Action, the Leadership Forecast. We're so grateful for our guests today and the impact they're making with the work they do. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel to watch the longer version of this episode, and be sure to like, comment, connect with, and follow me and each of our guests. You'll find all of our links in the caption of this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in every Thursday at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern for new episodes.